Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you on a huge day here in Hollandale Beach. You can see a fast main track, the Tapeta as well, and we have made it to Saturday, June 22nd. And what that means is a mandatory Rainbow 6 day on this 13-race bonanza. We close with a couple of stakes. Mandatory Rainbow 6 all day here. We're going to talk about it. We're going to show you tickets. We're going to show you videos. And there it is in race 8. We're guesstimating and estimating $4 million. I'm prognosticating.
Again, here we go.
Well over that. I know Pete's upstairs and thinking the same thing. We're going to go over $5 million, I think, today.
All righty. I love it.
And it is not easy.
Nope.
That is for sure. We've got tickets. We've done analysis and videos. They're out there. We'll talk about it. We're going to zip through the first 7 races on the card so we can spend the majority of our time on the Rainbow sequence and the races and videos and all that good stuff. Let's take a quick look at my early pick 5. Won't have to take long with this, I promise you. Big scratch in the opening race. Now I have a single in Captain Anthony, who was always my top pick anyway, in race 2. That's the 2-year-old race, that $1 million tap it for Team Cassie and DJ on top. The 2, it's Witchcraft. There's a single in race 3 with Celestial Glaze at a very short number. In race number 4, it is the 4 hanging in there. First time gelding for Joe Orsino. In race 5, you can see the single of the 7, Dove in Charge, at a short price for Dave Fox off the claim. $6. We'll get into the opener now, Samantha. Scratch of the 2, that's the big one. Hey River, the 11, Born a Gambler, had a chance, is out as well. 115 is the weight on Mufreef as Melvis Gonzalez sheds that 10-pound apprentice bug, and he's been going good, so a golf clap to him as well. I always had Captain Anthony on top, and that 2-1 is probably going to be long gone by post time now.
Yeah, I think so too. This is just the horse that makes sense. He's steadily gone down the ladder now. I said this last time about him. He needs this claiming level. He's now in for 8,000. Taking the blinkers off, you're 4 years old. Hey, you don't need him anymore. No. Let's get the win today.
And he ran well last time at the level that for 12.5, so now this is just going to flatter him that much more. Harrington was avoided claim last time. He was good, though, the 8, so we'll see what we get. Yeah, we'll see what we get today as he rises in class. The second is that good 2-year-old race that I've mentioned. We'll go 5 furlongs on the Tapeta for the fillies here. 2-year-old fillies. Scratch the 4, one more silver dollar. The 9, Mind Shift Game, is out, and the 7, Elijah Greenidge will ride, another apprentice that's doing good things. He'll be in at 111 as he sheds his 10-pound apprentice as well. And it's Witchcraft. We've got the early pick 4. We can show your ticket, actually. You're the early pick 4
I'm
now.
early pick 4 now. Yeah, and it's a $12 play. Get to take a look at him here, so we'll see. You see my single in race 4 that is hanging in there. I'm glad you have this horse as well, Brian. And 2 deep in race number 5. Barbara is my long shot, a $12 play.
All right, let's get back to it now. Did you go with It's Witchcraft on top, Team Cassie and DJ? Yeah, $1.1 million. Daughter of Tappet. We're not going to see a lot of those kind of horses here. It's exciting to see this horse here in late June.
Yeah, this is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
A lot of money here, but it was as a yearling, which even makes it more impressive. The Dam won 18 races and was a really good dirt sprinter, so I don't know anything other than that. There's no works on her anywhere. I haven't seen her in person, but these connections say that they'll have her at least ready to roll.
Well, I got to be perfectly honest, and not knowing a lot about the rest of these horses in here, I'd like to think she can run some, and if she can run some, I think that's a problem for the rest of these, because I don't see it a lot in here, to be perfectly honest. Class plays the other Cassie. Now 5-2 on debut. Didn't run at all on a good main track. We'll try the Tapeta today.
Yeah, and I think that this is a filly that needed the race too. She now gets Edgar Zayas aboard. I don't like the outside draw, but going to move into slots now, which that helps a lot.
And at least she has experience too.
Yeah.
The other 2 experienced horses are the 3 Pop Style and the 6 Episode. I like Episode a little better now that she's got the race under her belt. I kind of sort of thought Pop Style should have won last time.
Yeah.
And she quite honestly wasn't all that close when she gave up an open length late lead. They do have Tapeta experience as well. Race number 3, 7 furlongs in a starter optional claimer. These are 4-year-olds and up. It's clean. Celestial Glaze is going to, wow, you don't have this horse in your top 3. All right, you talk about pay zone here. Well, we can show the replay too.
Yes, Celestial and Payzone. Yeah, here we go. Payzone has been freshened up since this race, and this was Celestial Glaze's race 2 starts back. Now, I thought Payzone ran extremely well here. He did all the work. And that's what I thought was significant about this. Now, we're going to stretch out a bit more here to the 7 furlong. Celestial Glaze on the inside was the favorite that day. There wasn't a lot separating them, but Celestial Glaze, I felt like, did a little less running than Payzone.
The thing is, though, that to me, that race is meaningless because he's now with Jose D'Angelo, and what a good effort he had last time. And now in that starter optional claimer last time with Swerve and Legacy Isle and Classic Car Wash, this is, you can't make up a class drop like this. He's going to be odds on in here very likely, and I think he's clearly the horse to beat. Absolute Grit's got some try. I mean, Rohan's got Payzone and he's got Absolute Grit.
This horse runs really well fresh, so you got to watch out for him too. He's the other Rohan.
Yeah, let's show the stat real quick before we zip along here on Rohan Crichton, because he's got both the 1 and the 2. This is for Absolute Grit.
Yep, this is winner's last out, 22%. This is perfect to see that this is on par with the way Rohan's going right now. There's a barn that's really clicking along, and this is good. He's been freshened up. He's 7 years old. He usually has weird spacing between racing. It doesn't bother me because he just runs better that way.
I don't like to get into musical chairs with the jockeys, but neither of these guys, Elijah Greenidge or Edgard, has ridden these horses in the past. Edgard's on the 1, so we'll just take that for whatever it's worth, if it's worth anything at all. Race number 4 is a maiden special weight going 5 furlongs here. 3-year-olds, just the 3-year-olds going at it here. We do have a scratch of the 3, 4 Beach Friends and the 11 Urge to Merge. The 1 Howard Wallowitz, first time with Jose D'Angelo, will put blinkers on. Very difficult race for me to make a line on. Very difficult race for me to come up with a horse, but we do land on the same one. Hanging in there for Joe Orsino, first time gelding.
Well, other than the first time gelding part, look who he's the half to. Extravagant Kid. That horse, incredible sprinter. I keep saying it about all the siblings. I love the fact that they cut this horse back today. Yeah,
for sure. And you know what I love more than any of it all is that Joe has worked this horse fast.
Yeah, just to putting a little extra speed in him. When you're related to Extravagant Kid, you've got speed. It's just getting that out of him.
Yeah, because, when you're routing on the turf and now you're sprinting on the Tapeta, you want to talk about a quick about face. Let's show the replay of Freegon. Amador Sanchez and Hector Barrios is going to ride here, and, this is a pretty potent duo.
Well, watch this here. Now, this horse broke really well, and look at this. The far outside here. There was a horse for Kelly Breen that just completely blew the turn. This horse broke perfect, was sitting in a great spot, and then just was at the mercy of that there. That's not how you want to be. You mentioned Hector Barrios and Amador Sanchez. These are 2 people that when they team up, it's good stuff in the making.
The 2 of the favorites, we'll see how the betting actually shakes out. Lamcaro and Fastis, who's aptly named. Boy, they're going to go at it early. They're going to go at it often, and that could be a little problem, even though we are just sprinting here. Boy, something might have to give between the 2 of them.
Yeah, Fastest is quite literally the fastest in the race. So if he runs that race, he can win. But I don't know if he
the
is.
Cutback for Lamcaro is going to be, that's huge too. Boy, they're probably going to be zipping along. Race number 5, 5.5. On the Tapeta. It's a $10,000 claimer. Fillies and mares 3 and up. It's clean. Very likely a huge favorite in the 7, Dove in Charge. But you will go to the 5, Barbara. Is she your long shot?
She is, yes.
Barbara.
Barbara's my long shot.
Okay.
Hey, this is a race we've seen them all before. They all take turns beating each other. She's hasn't had a win since last year, but I think today could be the day. If anything, she tries really hard. She's back in for the 10,000, and most importantly, she's back sprinting.
Cutting back, she's back sprinting. I just wasn't looking to beat Dove in Charge. She's easily won her last 2. Sharp claim here by Dave Fox. He doesn't really do much with her. He just bumps her up to 10. I like this post for her and her running style. Very, very short number in race number 5. That kicks off the middle pick 4, by the way. Ever popular middle pick 4. We're going to have a ticket out for you shortly. If you had an early version of the racing form, it said race 6, and that's I had it.
You're the only one in the world that had it. Apparently.
Really?
I think
so. It says it right there.
I know. I said you're the only.
I guess I'm just working so far ahead of things there.
Well, actually, mine doesn't say it. No.
It literally says it right there.
This is race 6.
Exactly my point.
Oh, okay. We got it.
Follow along with us at home if you'd like. Race 5, okay, is that ever popular
Correct.
middle pick 4. We will have a ticket for you. Race 5. I just want to make sure everybody is aware of that. Race 6 is a flat one-turn mile on a fast main track. It's an $8,000 2L for the fillies in mares. We're going to scratch the 4. A long shot Cozy's Palace is out of here. You are on the 3, Bullet Valentina, who I feel like you almost got home last time, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did, and now this horse is going to get back to the main track. Well, you look at the 2 main track races; they were good ones. I'm not saying that the PETA wasn't wasn't a good effort, but
Right.
I like the dirt races way better, and this horse likes this one-turn mile.
Yeah, I wasn't looking to beat Field of Blossoms. She was thrown to the wolves last time,
Yeah.
didn't run. You look at the race 2 back, it was, it would literally lap this field. Can she get back to it? I don't know. It's her only good race showing. I get that, but Bobby DeBona
Well, let's
took a
show her
shot.
and Lady
Yeah, we can
Monique.
show that.
Yeah,
because
because,
Field of Blossoms and Lady Monique ran together on April 28th.
Yep, they did.
Well, for a little bit.
For a little bit, yes. And Field of Blossoms, the difference here is Field of Blossoms has had a race since then.
Right.
Now, if you want to play devil's advocate here and say, well, Lady Monique, she's had a little bit more time. She's come back to win since then, but has had more time off. Maybe I know she got thrown to the wolves last time, Field of Blossoms. Maybe she regresses after that.
Yeah,
a
it's
little bit.
possible. Maybe she doesn't come back the same. We'll see what we
Right.
get today. But, this is definitely her level for
Right.
sure. Race number 7 will go 1.70 miles on the Tapeta. It's an optional claimer here for fillies, 3-year-old fillies, excuse me. It's a clean race, a field of 7. You are on the inside with Show Off, who will try the Tapeta for the first time for Safi and Edgard.
Yeah, just going to take a stab here with this horse because I feel like if she can run back, she's never been on the Tapeta for one. If she can
Right.
run back to how she was at Fairgrounds when they were off the grass, and that was with Brad Cox, the number would win here. And that was the last time she was on Lasix, so she's back on it again today.
Yeah, you've got to use this horse because, Safi took over from Brad Cox, and he runs her in 2 stakes races over the championship meet, or
Yeah.
close to the, one in and one out. So clearly they thought they had something here. We'll see what we get on the Tapeta. Nothing clever for me. Gild the Lily here at the 5. Team Cassie, the only Tapeta race showing was on debut, and it was a strong win.
It was a very big win. She's dangerous.
Yeah, she's for sure. Catholica for Jose D'Angelo. Tapeta win last time in her first start. You've got the 5 in second as well.
Yeah.
All right, zip through the first 7 because we want to get back to the last 6. That's the Rainbow 6. We'll have tickets, we'll have analysis, videos, all that good stuff. We'll take a break, and when we come back, mandatory Rainbow 6, $4 or $5 million in that pool today. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
And welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you. Ron Nicoletti will be out shortly as well. And we've now reached the point where we can talk Rainbow 6. Mandatory day. It all must go. The carryover in and of itself is huge. And we're expecting a pool in the $4 to $5 million range. There you see it there. Races 8 through 13 on the card today. A fast main track to Tapeta. These are deep and competitive races. Let's start with Ron's ticket. And then we'll go with Samantha and I. And again, Ronnie has already tweeted this out. He'll be out with us later. He goes 86.40. You can see spreading in the opening leg. He doesn't have a single, so his best bet's not in here. And he's going to be out talking about this a little bit later. We've got a lot of video analysis out there on the website and Twitter and all that kind of good stuff. And also throughout the day, you'll see it on the simulcast feed. So that's Ron's ticket. We'll go to Samantha's now and see what she's got. I haven't seen this. 108. That's what I had actually before I had to rework it. So
Yeah,
take it.
I did a little reworking here. Race 9, it's a big spread race for me, but the 3 I do have on top. Race 10, I have the 2 on top. That is Boldness. Race 11, I do have the 5 on top. That is Mr. Brizel. Race 12, I don't want to say this is a forced single. I think on a good day, this horse is definitely the one to beat. My best bet, Shaq Diesel. That is the 4 horse. And in race number 13, the finale. This is a very tricky one. I do have the 8 on top. That is Jan's Girl, but I do not trust Jan's Girl. I've added a couple horses. The more I looked at this, it's $108 for me.
That's where I started with. We had a huge scratch here in race 8, so I had to do a lot of bobbing and weaving. So I think I'm at 120 now. Okay, you can see 4 deep. I agree. I'm spreading in race 9. It's got my long shot, the 4 Amapepa. My best bet is Holiday Fantasy in race 10. So there's the single there. In race 11, you know, Mr. Brizel's going to be a very short number there. I don't really trust him. I'm going with the 6 Tis the Coast. We'll show you why coming up. I clearly think Black Belt's the horse to beat, so we'll have some fun there. But Shaq Diesel's a must use. I don't disagree with anything you've said about the finale. I do have Jan's Girl on top. I think she's the best Tapeta horse in a race with a lot of turf horses. But I think the fact that Safi, and we will talk about this in a little bit, popped in Baticata and Edgard is there, I think that's very interesting. So here's 120. I've got a budget ticket too that I'll tweet out. If you don't want to spend that much, we get that as well. But let's start it now. We'll get into it here with race 8. And this is a $35,000 maiden claimer. The 1 R Disaster is the big scratch. The 2 Olivia Sparkle is also out. I think we both scratch into the 3 Big Bouquet of Roses.
Yep. And if this filly runs the race 2 back, or even the last race, she should.
She should.
She should. Now, she is going to stretch back out to the 7 furlongs. I think she's a better horse than when she tried it last year. You get the rail, but this isn't a race with a whole lot in it.
Very flat last time. I know the winner was a first-time starter that was good, but she was very flat regardless. She could be about 7 to 5. I don't know. I scratch into her, but I'm spreading now that the 1 is out. And I want to show you the replay of Princess Miss Emile. We got to give Bob a big shout out upstairs because we lost 2 replays in this sequence, and Bob came through and added this one and another one. Thank you, Bob. This is Tapeta. I get it. It's 5 furlongs. I get that too. It's a pretty nice run, Samantha, for a horse that, if nothing else, looks like she'll appreciate this distance.
Well, you look at her spacing between races, May 10th, May 19th, May 31st. That is a lot thrown at her at once. She's got much better spacing this time, and I think she's a use for sure. I don't disagree.
The wild card here is the 10, Sarah's Dream. Okay, first time Jose D'Angelo. Hasn't been out since some Kentucky runs for Norm Cassie. Adds Lasix. A couple of these works aren't bad. There's a lot of gaps, though, too. What'd you think?
Yeah, I saw one work of this horse. She picks her knees to her chest. It's like, does she want grass or is she just cheap? I'm thinking I'm leaning along the lines of she's just cheap, but I think that I think Jose D'Angelo could get more out of her than probably Norm Cassie would.
And her best run was on debut, too. It was a restricted race, but now she's in for a tag, so we'll see. Jose's had her for plenty of time. Late pick 5 kicks off in race number 9 here. We're 5.5 on the Tapeta, $8,000 2L for 3-year-olds and up. You want to take a look at your ticket quick?
Yeah, just very quickly. I won't go through it. I just knocked off a couple horses. It's $54 for me. Just knocked some off in the 13th and the 9th race, and let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it because this is a tricky race. We'll start with you with Awesome Wind, who is clearly one of the 2 horses to beat in this race.
Yep, definitely. Now, this horse completely missed the break and tried to run on, was in the left lead, the mid lane. I think that this horse just had so much going on. Now, he is 3-year-old facing older. That's a problem, but he is the fastest, one of the fastest in the races. I am spreading.
Yeah, he's already run against 3-year-olds. So I listen, Melvis Gonzalez has been doing some good work of late. We're getting Miguel today.
Yeah,
massive move. I'm long shot hunting, hoping here with Amapepa, who 2 back on the Tapeta was in for 16, okay? Now we're dropping into 8. Didn't run poorly. Giron stunk yesterday. I don't know why, but that was very weird. But Giron was good in that race, okay?
Very
so
good.
We've got tactical speed. We get a weight break with Eliza Greenidge aboard as well.
Modern Lane won this week.
And Modern Lane won this week. Very good point. So that's kind of flattering.
Yeah.
Going to be a big price in here as well. I'm going to take a shot. Clearly, Banneker is the other horse to beat in here. I made this horse the favorite. They bet these Jack Sisterson horses, and we're dropping. This horse is 2-1 for 16. Let's show you let's show you the Luna Warrior race that also has Sergeant Sinatra and Grand Bay. Luna Warrior, we have no idea where this race came from, and I'll let you take it away.
Luna Warrior drifts out here, and Rocka Cruz ran second this week, so that's a good sign here. Sergeant Sinatra is doing the thing that he always does, which is just running on late. We'll see Grand Bay here running on the scene late. That's the 7. Luna Warrior took the lead, kept going, was disqualified for this. I don't know where that came from.
That's the problem.
That's the biggest problem here. The jockey also kept hitting him left-handed, so of course he's going to drift out. Now, will this horse get an easy lead like this again? I don't know.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I didn't know what to make of this horse on a morning line. I don't know what to make of him here when we run this race either, but I don't trust him. That's what I kind of feel. It might be a little bit more of a gut feel. He was 19-1 in that race. It's not like he hadn't run on Tapeta before either, so no idea. Jack Sisterson couldn't get a lot out of this horse, and all of a sudden it blows up last time. We'll see. Take a shot. Javier Negrete did win a race the other day, right?
Yeah.
All right, late pick 4 in race 10. I'll tweet that out. Let's keep zipping here. A mile, flat 1-turn mile on the main track, 62.50. Claimers, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 3. Eric the Salesman, the 670, 70 Cat. Pete's probably not too mad that horse came out. And Belts and Brooks will be in at 115 for Melvis Gonzalez. We got to show you the replay of Boldness and Holiday Fantasy because Holiday is my best bet. Boldness is your pick on top.
Boldness was on the inside the whole time.
Yeah, there was trouble before this.
There was trouble, and I just didn't want to show the whole thing because, 77 Cat. Sorry, guys. Thanks. That horse is out. But Boldness lost a lot of ground, and Holiday Fantasy just ran a better trip, a less, what do I say, eventful trip, I guess.
Well, less eventful. I will give you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boldness is a weird horse, though, because I feel like, I don't know. I like the fact that Edwin Gonzalez is aboard because he did win on the horse 2 starts back.
Holiday, I know that Boldness had a trip. Holiday Fantasy had to run way harder.
That's a good point because Holiday Fantasy was doing a lot of dirty work.
Yes, and now he's outside. I don't know a lot about Pablo Torres. He's going to claim this horse off Victor Barboza Jr. He is 2 for 6 off the claim.
Yeah, which is a good sign.
That's positive.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you get with Storm Brave, but he is off the Victor Barboza claim, and you better take note there. It's a reclaim.
Yeah, that horse. I had to add in on numbers. The horse doesn't make sense, but I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, his form is terrible, but it's Victor Barboza, and he's going good again, and he's had this horse before, and he wants him again. Race 11, late pick 3 for $1. Don't forget that. We'll go a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. 16K 2L here for 3 and up. Scratch the 3. Gemstone Warrior, a Ronnie's long shot, I believe. Definitely a top pick. He was not without hope in here. We got to talk Mr. Brizo because he is a huge favorite on what is just a seismic class drop.
It is. This horse, he's a big horse. He's just kind of very one-paced, a dopey mover are my comments on him. He needs all the ground he can get. It's a big class drop, but it's not like he's been shattering any world records. He beat Barry the Builder when he won last.
Well, yeah. This is your line in the sand race, okay, that people are going to probably say I'm singling this horse because there are a lot of spread races in this sequence. And sometimes you just got to do that. Or there's going to be people like me that say, you know what?
Don't trust him.
I don't trust him.
Yeah.
I just don't trust him. He was in for 35 in his last Tapeta start. He ran second. The race drowns his field.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't trust him. I'm going to show you Tis the Coast race here. This is 4 starts ago, and albeit a different trainer, Frank Santillana's got him now. It's just did not go well for him, and he's going to be. You're going to see him get a little rank here. Okay, he's the 5. You're going to. This is another Bob race. Thank you so much, Bob. He's in between now. He wants to go. He can't go. He's going to resent it. Not a lot Miguel can do here. There's nothing to. Where's he going? Okay, it's not his fault, and he gets a little. We'll call it irritated. Tis the Coast. And Miguel's looking around. Where do I go? What do I do with this horse? It's just, he was kind of put in the jackpot there. Not a lot he can do. No. But here he is leveling off and running into the breach in mid-stretch. This was a 16-2L, and he ran, all things considered, he ran huge, Samantha. He's 3rd, beating a neck. I don't know if they find this horse today. It's a low percentage trainer jockey combination. I get it. That race was pretty good.
I like to compare things like that we just saw as like you're running in sand. If you're running and you're continuing forward motion, you can continue to handle the sand. But whenever you stop, think about how much it takes you to get back going again on the beach here. That's what happens on the Tapeta sometimes. You can't come out of that. It makes it so much harder on you.
Especially when we're talking 16-2Ls here.
Right, it's not like you have gears to shift and take off.
Right. Bold Advance, a big player. You got him in 2nd. He's rising in class. The 2 Tapeta races, 2 and 3 back, were pretty solid.
I was hoping we'd see how Hay River would run in the 1st to kind of get a gauge, but now I don't.
Big drop for Immense Faith, who was in for a quarter last time, and Ray Yanez has now had him for a little bit. That's a trainer we know here, and that's a trainer that wins races here. Really good late double to wrap up this monster card. The 12th is the Wildcat Red. Of course, we know him so well in South Florida. A mile and a $75,000 overnight handicap. The gang is all here. We tried to run it last week. They're all back. That's great. Shaq Diesel, best bet for you?
Yes.
Okay, show him why.
This horse, when he has Lasix on, he's tough to beat here.
Yeah.
He's just a horse that needs it and benefits from it, and that works. Now his last race was in the big drama. Octane just ran away.
Right.
Here, this is his race on April 20th. He ran well here. Now look at the splits though he was able to run into. 22-44. You have to have quick fractions for him to be able to run down horses. I mean, it's just, that's the fact of the matter. We're going a mile today. I think that's going to play out a little bit better for him. Vivier Con Alegria just ran off the screen there, and Shaq Diesel just picked him up. But the main thing is getting Lasix today.
I had him in that race there, and he's been good to me. I like him. He's a must-use. He's the other A. Now, I will say this. When we were going to run this race last week, Black Belt was on the outside. I wish he was on the outside today. He is not. I just think he's a little too much racehorse. You draw maybe the trip to Fairgrounds. As Ronnie said, he was tilting windmills over there. I still don't even really know what that means, but
sure either.
He's a darn good horse, and he's going to be way ahead of your horse.
Yeah, he is. Here's the thing. I always thought this horse was better as a sprinter. The 7 furlongs races were good ones. His form is just so all over the place, and I told you this. I don't trust him at all. If he runs the race 2 starts back, which I also said the mile and the 16th, I felt like that carried him a bit more than the mile.
Right.
Somebody's got to run with him. I think somebody will run with him.
They might. It's not like he's a need to lead. He'll shut off nicely. He's 7 for 17. I mean, his last. We're easily drawing a line through the Fairgrounds race.
Yeah, you have to.
His last 5 races have been dynamite.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt about that. So we'll see what we get. The rail could be a little problematic. I guess positive review is the other horse.
Yes.
We both have him in 3rd. To me, the gap, and as you saw my ticket, I'm just using the 1 and the 4.
Yeah, I
singled
the 4, but the 1 and the 4 would be mine.
Yeah.
If I had maybe a bigger budget, I would probably put in positive review too.
Yeah, I don't know. He never wins either. That's the other thing.
No, but that was a very good race he ran against Kings Barnes.
That's fine. I get it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he did any running that day either, but I think he's further down the mix. Okay, the 13th is what a race this is now. The Powder Break was going to be on turf last week. Well, we're on hiatus here. We'll run it on the Tapeta. It was the 9th race last Saturday. Clean field of 11 for $95,000 at $170. We both have the same horse. We're going to show you her race during the thick of the championship meet. Jan's Girl behind Sand and Sea, who was so good for Riley Mott. Right?
Yep, 2 wins in a row.
This is the best Tapeta horse in the race,
Did
Jan's
we have
Girl.
A replay? I didn't have one.
Oh, we don't? Okay.
No. We did in our preview videos.
Okay, in our preview videos. Okay, it was a good second. Really not a lot going on. She just ran a good second.
No, she ran second, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There are a lot of turf horses in here. There are a lot of horses that are seemingly better on turf.
Yeah,
Right?
That's the key to kind of getting out of this race. Is,
Yeah.
you want to look for horses that have an affinity for this Tapeta here.
Yeah, and I think that's very important. Now, Wide West was my pick last week. Ronnie likes her. I think it's his long shot. The difference between last week, and obviously the surface, the other difference is between last week and this week, as Edgar Perez walks by, a lot more speed today.
There
A
is.
ton more speed today.
Yeah, this horse is quick though. She's very, very fast. I wanted to show a stat too,
Yeah,
which
the
I
Franco.
thought, which is interesting. I know that she's won on the Tapeta Forbit, but this is Tapeta routes for Frankel. Look at this: 20 starts, 5 wins, 3 seconds, 25%. This is huge.
Huge.
So if she can carry it, we'll see.
She's won from off the pace. You think now chasing on Tapeta, she's going to be on the lead.
Yeah.
Sunatra's got a MECL.
Yeah, that could be a
That's a
problem.
big,
but
big problem.
Sunatra, yeah, that makes that's tough to come back to. I don't have a rebuttal for that.
Okay. Here's something very interesting, okay? Towser was in last week, right? As was Angel Nadeshiko. Safi with both of them. Who was not in last week? That's the 2. Batakata, who's riding the 2? Edgard.
Yeah.
I don't know. Her Tapeta races are okay. They're not great. They're not bad. She very might likely be a better horse now. They were with Brittany Russell. Safi's as sharp as we have, and he said, I want to run this horse today.
I don't know what to do with this horse. To
Okay.
me, I get it's sneaky. I don't know. The Tapeta races have a bad taste in my mouth of hers.
I get it. They weren't great. I get it. Time Passage was pretty good. Beach Nut Trophy was pretty good.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, because we've been running races back that were canceled, there have been horses that were not in the original races that have entered on the comeback, and they've all run really well.
Yeah. Well, the Safi's, I think if you're using that horse, you have to use the 11 because this mare has not faced a field like this in a long time.
Yeah, you know what bugged me? They didn't bet her last time. Maybe I just made a really bad line. I don't know. But I think I had her at 7-5. She was like completely dead on the board. She never looked good at any point. I don't know. Edgard rode her last time. Drayden Van Dyke's done a really good job with the barn. Where'd Towser's race come from last time? I know it was on turf.
Yeah.
Is she just a better horse now? I don't know.
I don't know, but Carpe Diem is never the Carpe Diem statistic with
Right.
Tapeta races of 15%, much higher than on the grass.
Novala had like the trip of the year last time.
Yeah.
I get it. She's off the claim for Carlos David. You better look at her too.
Yeah, I think in another horse that you really have to pay attention to, and I have her in my pick 6, and you have her 4th, Chick Shadow. I don't know what it is about this mare.
Yeah.
She runs huge on the Tapeta. She runs huge every
run well.
time. I don't understand it. She's as big as a house. She looks like she could stop for grass. I think
Right.
we've actually mentioned that, like on her way down the stretch. I don't know how she likes the Tapeta so much because she doesn't look like she would, but her last Tapeta race was a big win.
It's a flow race too, and I think she fits it because
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of speed in here, and I think that's to me it's off the pace a little bit. All right, that's it. We'll go quick with the lightning round. We're just going to show you that rainbow graphic. We just talked about it. Races 8 through 13 are the Rainbow 6 today. We're expecting $4 to $5 million. You got plenty of time to get tickets together. That's going to be that post is going to be, we got 13, 431-ish. Okay, that's loose, but just be ready for that. Rainbow 6 in races 8 through 13. My best bet's in it. How about your best bet's in it too?
Yeah,
Shaq
Shaq
Diesel?
Diesel. Yep.
Okay. Shaq Diesel for Samantha. I am a little earlier on, and I think race 10?
Yep.
Yep. Holiday Fantasy. How about your long shot today?
Early. It's Barbara.
Early? Oh,
Yep,
Barbara.
It's Barbara. Oh, well, okay. Sorry, guys. I had changed it. Sorry, I didn't update y'all. Well, I put it on the new email.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. It's Barbara.
Barbara at 20-1. And race 9 for me. I'm a Peppa at 15-1.
Yeah.
A lot of fun going on. Ron's coming out. We've got tickets. Pete's upstairs. Your scratches and changes. Really happy to have you aboard on a huge Saturday here at Gulfstream Park.